Port Charles was charged with emotional upheaval and long-awaited revelations on the Friday, July 25th episode of General Hospital. From tender promises between father and daughter to buried secrets clawing their way to the surface, this episode delivered a perfect blend of family bonding, truth bombs, and the slow-burning fuse of long-brewing conflict. Let's dive into the full update and explore the consequences of Drew's heartfelt moment with Scout and the unraveling of Michael's secret that could shatter his carefully constructed world. The day began in a quiet corner of the Metro Court Gardens, where Drew Cameron Matheson met with his daughter, Scout. The little girl, maturing more each day, had been struggling emotionally with the whirlwind of chaos surrounding her parents, from Drew's near-death experience to Sam's increasing tension with Dante. Scout's eyes sparkled with both curiosity and sadness as she asked the question no father ever wants to answer. "Daddy, will everything ever be normal again?" Drew knelt down beside her, holding her hand and brushing her hair back. "No matter what happens, I will always make sure you get your happily ever after," Drew promised. "It may not look like a fairy tale with castles and crowns, but it'll be filled with love, safety, and people who'd move mountains for you." His words carried the weight of a father who'd been absent too often. Scout, young but perceptive, leaned into his chest and whispered, "I believe you." But as Drew held her tighter, guilt gnawed at his conscience. He hadn't told Scout, or anyone, that his recent deal with the Pentagon's intelligence wing was still active. He'd made a promise to Scout, but the truth was, danger still lingered. Just as they parted, Carly approached with a warm smile. "Looks like you made a promise that may be tough to keep," she teased gently, catching Drew off guard. "Maybe," he replied, "but I'm going to move heaven and earth trying." While Carly and Drew talked, her instincts kicked into overdrive. She'd been around enough WSB, mob wars, and dark dealings to know when someone was holding back. As Drew tried to change the subject, her smile faded. "This wouldn't have anything to do with that mysterious call you took last night, would it?" Carly asked, folding her arms. Drew deflected. "Just checking in with a contact in DC."
Carly didn't buy it.
"You're building Scout a fantasy. But what happens when she wakes up to a nightmare? If you're in trouble, I deserve to know, Drew."
He softened.
"I'll explain everything soon. But right now, I need to protect the people I love from even knowing the risks." Little did Carly know, her confrontation would trigger a chain of events that threatened everything, especially after she bumped into Michael minutes later. Michael Corinthos, Chad Duell, had been operating under the illusion of control for months. Between his responsibilities at YelQ, Willow's health scares, and his distance from Sunny, Michael tried to maintain a perfect facade. But that facade began to crumble when Carly, with intuition sharpened from years of survival, gently pressed. "Are you keeping secrets from me, Michael?" Michael froze. "Because I've noticed the tension between you and Willow. And I've noticed something else. You're lying to someone. I just don't know who yet." Michael attempted to downplay it, but Carly pushed harder. "Is it about Willow? Or the project with Ned and Valentine?" Michael finally snapped. "No, it's about Jason." Carly's heart skipped a beat. "What about Jason?" Michael exhaled slowly, visibly torn. "I've known for months that Jason's alive. He contacted me, but he begged me not to tell anyone until he figured out who he could trust." Carly was stunned, her eyes welling with disbelief. "You knew? All this time, and you didn't say anything?" Michael tried to explain that Jason had been working undercover, embedded in a black market operation tied to international weapons dealers. He didn't even know who set him up. He suspected someone close betrayed him. Carly's voice dropped to a whisper. "You should have told me. I wanted to, but Jason made me promise. I thought I was protecting him, protecting you, but I was wrong." Carly turned away, fighting tears. Her son had made a life-altering decision without her. And it wasn't just betrayal she felt, it was heartbreak. Meanwhile, Willow, Caitlin McMullen, was at the hospital for a follow-up appointment when she spotted Michael talking to Dex Heller outside. Their conversation looked tense, and Willow couldn't shake the feeling that something was off. Later, when she confronted Michael at home, he gave her a carefully edited version of the truth. There's something I haven't told you about Jason. Willow's jaw tightened. He's alive? Michael looked stunned. How did you? I overheard Carly. And now I want the full truth. No more half-truths. No more secrets. Not between us. Michael was cornered. He confessed that he had helped Jason stay hidden, that he'd even funded part of his escape through Yelq under a dummy project called Harbolite. Willow was horrified. Meanwhile, Willow, Caitlin McMullen, was at the hospital for a follow-up appointment when she spotted Michael talking to Dex Heller outside. Their conversation looked tense, and Willow couldn't shake the feeling that something was off. Later, when she confronted Michael at home, he gave her a carefully edited version of the truth. There's something I haven't told you about Jason. Willow's jaw tightened. He's alive? Michael looked stunned. How did you? I overheard Carly. And now I want the full truth. No more half-truths. No more secrets. Not between us. Michael was cornered. He confessed that he had helped Jason stay hidden, that he'd even funded part of his escape through Yelq under a dummy project called Harbolite. Willow was horrified. You lied to me. You made me feel like I was crazy for sensing something was wrong, and all the while you were protecting him instead of us. Michael reached for her hand. I thought I was protecting everyone, but I see now that I made things worse. Willow, broken and disillusioned, walked away from him that night, not toward another man, but toward the chapel in GH, where she prayed not for forgiveness, but for clarity. Back at the Quartermain mansion, Scout was busy drawing in the study while Monica observed her. The young girl innocently showed Monica her picture, a smiling Drew beside a tall figure in black with red eyes. Who's this? Monica asked gently. That's Daddy's shadow friend, Scout replied without blinking. He said I shouldn't talk about him, but he watches over us. Monica was visibly disturbed. Was this just a child's fantasy? Or something more sinister? Later, Monica phoned Sam. You need to ask Drew what's really going on. Scout is seeing things no child should have to imagine. Anna Devane, Finola Hughes, had been quietly working with the WSB to trace a series of encrypted messages bouncing off servers in the Caymans, Greenland, and ultimately Port Charles. She finally cracked the pattern and realized someone at Yelq had set up a channel for covert funds, weapon tracking, and digital smuggling. The codename? Harbolite. When she saw Drew's name tangentially linked to the project, alarm bells rang. Anna called in Jason's contact in Lisbon and learned something shocking. Jason was alive, yes, but he'd also sent out a distress signal 2 weeks ago. And no one had responded, not even Michael. Now Anna feared that Jason's life was in jeopardy again, and that Michael's lie had deadly consequences. The episode closed with a dramatic confrontation on the docks. Drew, having received word from Anna, found Michael brooding near the water. You knew Jason was alive. You let Scout believe he was dead. You lied to Carly. You let Willow suffer. You jeopardized all of us. Michael looked anguished. I didn't mean to hurt anyone. Drew's voice darkened. You may have just destroyed the one thing Jason always fought for, this family. Michael stepped back, but Drew's anger didn't cool. Scout believed in happily ever after. Now she might grow up thinking that promises don't mean a damn thing. And with that, Drew walked off into the shadows, the promise to his daughter clashing with the storm clouds now brewing on every side. Carly and Anna team up to find Jason, but someone is watching their every move. Willow disappears, leaving only a note behind. Has she run away or been taken? Scout's drawing becomes a real clue as a masked figure targets the Quartermains. Michael faces exile from the family after Ned and Tracy learn of his lies. Friday's episode was a masterclass in emotional storytelling. Drew's touching moment with Scout carried emotional resonance, but was tragically overshadowed by Michael's deceit. As secrets fracture the Corinthos and Quartermain families, the fallout could reshape General Hospital forever. One promise, one truth, and one lie, that's all it took to push the foundations of Port Charles to the edge. Stay tuned, the next week is going to explode.